Welcome. We are the Aquarian TV, host of the Aquarian Temple. We are the Aquarian Temple. One body, soul, mind, united with the divine in reality, manifestation. We are bringing heaven to earth, marrying them together in a beautiful symphony that is the story of our life. May it be a beautiful dance. Let's look at the celestial choir. What is going on in the heavenly realms? Today is Thursday, June 8th, 2023. Thursday for Thor, Jupiter. What is Jupiter doing? Jupiter is up in the constellation Taurus at 5 degrees, conjunct where the lunar eclipse was, which makes me feel like a big call to lose an attachment to an earthly, something that might have given us pleasure in the past, that is keeping us from moving forward. We may have given up something around that lunar eclipse time, which was a few months ago, and you could be getting gifted for that act of discipline, or the gravity of that change that you made could be felt now, seen from a higher point of view. Maybe something maybe we tried to give up on and we did not, and now that is being magnified so that we could hopefully address it this time victorious. The word victory has been coming to me a lot. Victory is the name of the Sephiroth in the Kabbalistic tree of life. That is Venus. We have to get through the moon, which is by balancing our emotions, being emotionally mature, killing your ego. And then we get to Mercury. Mercury is the mind. So we have to get past the mind. And it could be a trickster like Loki. Low key, major key. The mind. Right now in Gemini season is getting lost in the mind. And that could be tiring. Your right hemisphere of your brain and your left hemisphere of your brain wrestling with each other constantly. Won't shut up. Keeping you up at night. 8, 9 of swords type Gemini gone bad. Is the nervous system frayed, shaking. Fear. Being abandoned or something. Well, its opposite sign is Sagittarius, Jupiter, the good father, Eupater. Deus Pater, the oldest god of recorded history. And it is the good father. Jupiter is beneficent, loving, wise, the guru. That energy is in Taurus, is in Earth, our material goods. So being wise with our money, spending our money on spiritually. 1 year in every sign. it splits up the zodiac into 12. 12 is the number of Jupiter. 1, 2 equals 3. And 3 is the number of Jupiter. 3 is creation. Beginning, a middle, end. Saturn, knowledge. And intelligence. That's really a marrying together of Jupiter and Saturn. We want to marry together Jupiter, Saturn. We want to marry together Mars, Venus, which is actually happening in our heart space right now. With the Leo conjunction. And then we also want to marry our Mercury and Venus together. Because that's getting past Mercury is we go to Venus. And that love. Our heart emotional space. Not our mechanical emotional base, which is the moon, but our heart emotional base, Venus. She's so bright in the evening sky. She's so high. She's really lighting up. Venus is so important. She's been the idol, many of a pagan. But one of the oldest figurines, sculptures we have is a small doll of a plump woman with big breasts and booty. Fertility. Why doesn't the church and Judeo-Islam, Christianity, why don't they want idols? Because they're powerful. Go do something, make it in honor of Venus, and watch it come to fruition. It's why the priests wear green during normal, regular times. Venus is about veneration. Venus is about the Vestal Virgins of the temple who keep the fire going, who are pure, and who are freaky at the same time. We got Mercury upside down today. That is warning us to get out of the brain. We're losing the mind battle. Let us reach out to our heart space, out of our head space, so that instead of getting tricked by Mercury, we could be sharp and strategic in how we maneuver him. That's how we get past him, is by transmutating it, not ignoring it, and comprehending it fully. And when we fully comprehend, it's a mystical thing. Then you've defeated the demon on that level, and you can go to the next one. Mercury is also the magician. They have Mercury often allocated to the first card of the tarot, the magician, a magi, who is using electromagnetism, that movement. Mercury is movement, pretty much. It rules Virgo and Gemini, both mutable signs. And the enders. They're the transitioners. That's kind of how they're psychopomps. Mercury travels around the sun, recording how we act. Even our every single thought. And then, on Judgment Day, when you die, you have to go and review your whole life. And however you feel at the end of that, You're feeling high, then you go to a high place. You're feeling low, you go to a low place. You say, let me try that again. What a waste of time and energy and life did I do. That's a little harsh, but it's good to reflect upon that. Or let us choose a more Jupiterian mental attitude, which is through that experience, I learned a lot about myself. And now I'm able to put that into practice. Let us pray to Saturn. Saturn, Father Time, Kronos. I think Enki. Jupiter's Enlil. But Mercury might be Enki, dog. Our savior. Ea is the old El, Babylonian god El, Saturn. Elyon, God Most High. Saturn's the Most High planet that we could see. The ruler. He's the ruler of this world. Saturn. But he lets Jupiter be the king. So, because Saturn's the priest. That's why priests dress in black. He calls Father. Because Peter is really more Jupiter. But Joseph in the Bible comes from Seth, which is Set, which is Saturn in Egypt. The enemy god to the Egyptians. The enemy of the light of Horus and Orion Osiris, Pharaoh. So this religious group took on the god of their enemies and made a covenant with him by offering up the firstborn. And that's the god of the Bible. Whoa. Whoa. It's Saturn. Not to get all bent out, it's just Saturn. What do you want to do? You want to honor Saturn. On what day? Saturday, the Sabaoth, another name for Saturn. Saturn is also it rules the seventh heaven, yet its number is 8, which is profound. Saturn, the ruler of Aquarius, and so when we move from the age of Pisces, ruled by Jupiter, Jupiter hands over the crown to Saturn, the slow but persistent character arc god in existence in us, that we are bound to its laws. Namely, death. The god of the desert, the cold, rules in winter. Why? Because it's the furthest one away, the furthest from light from us. So it takes on all those characteristics. It's not as bright as Jupiter, and it lurks in the background, like ruling from behind the scenes as the priest, really, or the magician who's ruling, and sets up the king as just a Joe Biden. I don't care what side you're on, but that man obviously isn't making all his calls for himself. He's just on a radio. Say this, say this. Do you think he has any original thoughts? Maybe. May. The South Node. May he survive that. All the Scorpios out there. There was a little section in Scorpio where the South Node moved really quickly. It was like from 7 to 5, which is good because that's my birthday. It's 7 degrees. So now it's whipping its tail, excreting scorpionic stuff out at the third degree. And that is, there's something deeper calling us. And if we don't answer to that deeper call, we're going to be felt like we're not living a deeply engaged life. We have Mercury in Taurus as well. So that is the mind. It's like moving fast, but it's going nowhere. You're worrying about nothing. Car alarm goes off across the street. Affirmation, what I just said. We could be thinking a lot and even being really busy, but really doing nothing. I kind of feel like I lost some of my creative juices because I'm not sure what the next step I want to do. Oh, Angel, welcome. Never killing my ego. I'm never coming back. Enough. Well, that's one way to hopefully spur us into action to make this world a better place, because we very well may be coming back into it. And even if we aren't, what about those behind us? In the Gnostic teachings, they teach to not even have children to bring them in here. Unless it's immaculately conceived. But I'm still debating on that. I think we need to work on this world. And then having children and training them to be lights in this world feels like that would be a good service to humanity. This is a little X-rated, R-rated, Prince Scorpio. I think ideally when two lovers unite in the sacred sacrament of sexual engagement to know each other is the marrying of not just our physical, sexual, mechanical, motor, operational, instinctual nature level, the level of the beast. Well, we connect there. We don't ignore that, but we connect there. That's the root. But then people they're just having babies from that red root place, bringing in demons into this world. But if they're connected at the heart and the mind and the heavens, then you could bring in an angel into this freaking world. When I hear about couples who are trying to have children, and it sounds so mechanical, and I just, I'm not there in the bedroom with them judging. They say I don't want the church in my bedroom. Would be in the Catholic Church when, like, I think it was about condom usage. And people would say, I don't want the church in my bedroom. That's the reason we fell into this density, to this demonic hell landscape, is because we had sex without God in the room. A pervert. Oh, peeping Tom, God, you gotta let him in. What's that? Recognizing the divinity, the absolute beauty, love that is in the partner, and you might even see a little glimpse of it inside yourself reflected in her freaking eyes. I do these videos like I'm talking to other guys. I realized there's no guys really watching my stuff. That's not true. Mm. Oh, wait a minute. I'm never killing my ego. That's another good topic because I used to like, well, no, our ego is needed. Like right now, I'm talking from my ego, my personality, and I have to use my personality to get me through the day. But let me not identify by that so much. The ego is it's not real. We just made it up. So in that world, it's a pretty low level. You could usually make it up out of fear. It's not very original. We like to think we have these cults of personality like Trump, Obama, celebrity, and the personality. It's not essentially us. It's just masks. And then we identify with masks. So many masks, and we have multiple personality disorders. That's disorder. We want to be um our self, our being, capital B, our self, capital S. That's what we want to shine out, and often our personality flaws get in the way because of our ego. Because we're offended when somebody says something that hurts my true self that can't be hurt. No, it hurts my ego. And that's a real protoplasmic body that we've created. And if we don't kill it now, while we're alive, that's by comprehending it. Comprehending the illusory nature of it. Then that's something that won't have to get ground down after our physical shell coil retreats. So killing the ego and then using the ego, just like riding the donkey, riding the bull, riding the dragon, riding the goat. The Masons do. It's also by a life of chastity, which isn't just sexual purity, but like thought and action, uh, being in charity, seeing everything as charity, and being the embodiment of virtue. There's things those don't get promoted, maybe in the church, but where else promotes virtue? Maybe occasionally in a movie, occasionally on a news story. Not really. If it bleeds, it leads. Every day in the headlines, it's like asteroid the size of a skyscraper heading for Earth. Yeah, I think that probably happens a trillion times a second. I think wanting. I'm a Gemini. I have 12 personalities. We all do. We have 12 zodiac signs in us. Each one of those signs is an intelligence they talk about in esoterica, theosophy, I think. Mm. Ooh. I wanted to pick an Egyptian god for the day. We got Mercury as our card from the official Aquarian deck. Yeah, that's what I'm going to call it. Let us be the magicians. Make sure we're not getting fooled, tricked by our own mind, perhaps. And how do we get our Mercury, our mind right? But by going to the heart and let us ask for the intercession of Venus, Aphrodite, Ishtar, Inanna to bring us to the heart of God, Let us be strengthened and renewed by the warm fires. Leo, we ask for the help and strength from all of the gods and goddesses of our ancestors. That's powerful. Nephti. Meditation. This card happens to be beautiful. I just want you to know you're my favorite goddess. Nephthys is like my favorite. This one is Nephti. Nefhti. The number 10. Meditation. I wish you could see that a little bit better. Because as she's praising the Ankh, Venus, life, the life of a red sun. Horus. Through the name of it is meditation for the number 10. Very interesting. Let us go to the Egyptian God Oracle Cards by Silvana Alasia. Thank you for your work, Sylvania. She did some deep research into Egypt when she made these cards. By Los Scarabeo Press. Scarab. Summer solstice. Okay, shut up, Liam. Meditation. Nephti. Wife of Set. It is Nephthys. Oh, boo-boo. They gave you number 10. And that's really how you spell your name? Nefhti. Nephti. The H is always for breath. The N, none, is like sperm or semen. Usually the 13th letter. Mem is the waters of sex, and then N is like the fish that comes out of it. The sperm that gets let through. Yes, that's kind of nice. Which happens at 14. Osiris was cut up into 14 pieces. So they only had 13. And that's why they use the 13 original colonies. Okay, let me shut. My sister told me that men start podcasts when really what they should do is be a psychologist or get psychiatric help. Wife of Saturn, who we were just talking about, and younger sister of Isis. Oh, I didn't know she was younger. Oh, goddess of the underworld. Nephthys is whom Isis will bring you to if she approves of you. Is Nephthys who is in the inner holy of holies. Sex. The goddess at night. Got turned into a prostitute via the Mary Magdalene story or the Whore of Babylon. What she was a high priestess in charge of initiation into the mysteries with, I think, the Pharaoh probably. Her name means Lady of the House or the Inn. The inner of the temple, which indicates that she is the lady of the temple. Thank you. Thank you, Silvana Alasia, for also being woke. Real meaning of woke. Not the PSYOP version meaning of woke. Her name means Lady of the House, which indicates that she's Lady of the Temple, with reference to her priestly functions. Who's also a black kite that descends. The magnetic energy of the feminine. Isis would be the masculine energy of the feminine. She represents the access road to sanctuaries and the horizon. I did not know that. Nephte protects humans and their souls in the moment of passing away. She follows Osiris along with Sirius, Isis, in the night sky. She is Procyon, the blurry-eyed one, crying, weeping, mourning, following her sister Isis, Madrykina. They blink as if they're weeping over the tomb of Osiris Orion proceeds in the night sky. Right now we have the sun in that section of the sky. Soon it'll get to Cancer, where the temple housed by that's where Isis and Nephthys are the mothers of birthing, and Nephthys is assistant to the birthing. It's deep, and they're both the same person. All the stories inside of us, the great stories that capture the human experience and hide within them mysteries that you can't just get by reading it. You have to go through deaths and these rebirth rituals. Well, Nephthys brings us into death, a glorious, sweet death. She protects humans and their souls in the moment of passing away. Obstacles, losses, or painful events may arise unexpectedly and irreversibly, such as life. Anzi. Obstacles, losses, or painful events may arise unexpectedly and irreversibly. Learn that through reflection, everything can be fully transformed and developed. Your ability to continue to rise up depends only on your own conscience. How do we clear our conscience? What is my conscience? I always use the word like, let's be conscious, like awake. But this is conscience in a different way. It's almost like what's weighing on your soul, heart, mind. There's stuff I have to release. Is there ways of thinking, habits that affect my nervous system that need to be let go of? Well, let's ask for Nephte, the most beautiful goddess of the underworld, to strip away the chains that are keeping us bound to the underworld, that we might freely frolic with you, beautiful dark goddess, heavily veiled. The secret teaching of all ages, the high priestess of the temple, whom never even comes out for anybody to see, who is the strength behind the Pharaoh, who is the Pharaoh's throne and headdress, who is all that ever was, all that is, and all that will ever be. And no mortal has lifted my veil. Seth. Saith Nephthys and Isis, please guide and protect the Aquarian Temple. We dedicate it to you, O goddess of 1,000 names, that the Aquarian temple might gain and grow, and we put it to your care and patronage. That's right, and that's when and I'll set that into place. That's why you name ships and stuff the names after the Virgin Mary of Maria, the sea, marina life, or her mother Anne, who's on ancient Sumeria, Anu heaven, or Anu's kingdom of heaven. So we really want to we want to manifest and bring things into reality and give things birth, creation, without the concept of the divine feminine mother in your cosmological worldview. You ain't bringing anything into this world. You're just sitting there with your thing in your hand, having a bunch of thoughts, mentally masturbating, not doing nothing. So let me close right now because we gotta do something. This is doing something. My hope is that this is a ministry to help more than just myself out, to hear myself talk. But my hope is that other people might enjoy this. Oh, Angel, thank you so much for being in the chat. That really helps to keep me going. I really appreciate that. And all those who do watch this, I ask that you like, sub, share, subscribe, make a donation. TheAquarian.tv, book a reading at TheAquarian.tv. The Aquarian Temple is coming to a town near you. Won't you be a part of it? We use astrology. We incorporate the ancient mysteries. We de-occult the allegorical, metaphorical, metaphysiological meanings of these stories. We syncretize all the religious traditions based on their similar mystical nature. This is what we're doing. Bye, Angel. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great Thursday. May Thor, the god of blessings, Jupiter, be benevolent unto us, encourage us, inspire us to shine bright together with Venus now in the night skies. May we be strengthened in our ability to be disciplined, to put the work in. May we be light of heart and brave of soul.